Hello, St. Andrews, and welcome to this week's edition of Chancel Chats. I didn't get around to doing a Chancel Chat last week. It was such a busy week, I never had the time. So we'll continue the tradition today. It's a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous fall day. Temperature's supposed to rise into the high 60s today. Bright sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. Just a lovely, lovely day. Fall is my favorite season of the year, and I'm really enjoying this weather that we're having. Looking ahead to this weekend, on Friday evening, we will be hosting the viewing for Kathleen Wren, who passed away last Saturday afternoon. The viewing will be held in the sanctuary at St. Andrews from 6 until 8 p.m. And then the funeral mass will be held on Saturday at 11 o'clock, and that will be preceded by another 45-minute viewing from 10 until 10:45 a.m. So please be aware of this, and we're looking forward to a wonderful celebration of Kathleen's remarkable life and an opportunity to bid farewell to a wonderful saint who has been a member here at St. Andrews for many, many years. So that will be on Friday night, Saturday. I'll be preaching and presiding at all three of the services this weekend, Saturday evening at 5 o'clock, and then Sunday morning at 8 and 10 o'clock. So looking ahead to next week, on Monday evening, we'll be having our monthly vestry meeting at 7 p.m. And of course, vestry meetings are open to all members of the parish. If you'd like to attend, please consider yourselves welcome and invited to do so. And then Tuesday evening, our next to the last session of our fall Beatitudes Bible study. We've been having a really good time looking at Jesus' Beatitudes, and so we'll continue that this coming weekend, this coming Tuesday. It'll be the next to the last. The last session of our fall Bible study will be postponed for a week because the next Tuesday, I'll be attending the annual clergy conference at the Seaview Resort in Galloway, so I won't be here the next Tuesday for a Bible study. So we'll be having our final session of the sixth session fall Bible study on Tuesday, November 1st, which is All Saints' Day. And of course, that reminds me that to mention that we will be having our traditional All Saints' Day service and celebration at the Dobbins Chapel at St. Andrew's Cemetery at 9 o'clock on All Saints morning, Tuesday, November 1st. So that's something to look forward to. I'd like to mention also that on Saturday, the 22nd of October, the diocese is sponsoring a special fundraising event. It's called Souls for the Harvest. It's an event to raise money to support food ministries around our diocese. So St. Andrews will be fielding a team of walkers and runners. Our captain is Dominic Janney, and we're going to be trying to raise as much money as we can. All of the funds that we raise and Team St. Andrews will come back to this community, and we've designated one of our most important ministry partners, St. Vincent de Paul, as the recipient of all the funds that we raise in this fundraising event. And our vestry at the September meeting pledged to match dollar for dollar up to $1,000 every dollar that we raise in this fundraising event. So we're looking for walkers and runners to participate, but also for sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsoring Team St. Andrews, you can do it in two different ways. One, you can go online and make a donation that way, or you can write a check and put it in the offering plate. In the notation line at the bottom of the check, just put Souls for the Harvest, and every dollar that we raise will be matched by our vestry and will go to support one of our most important ministry partners here in Mount Holly, the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. And then the next weekend, the weekend of the 29th and 30th, Susan and I will be taking our confirmation class to Washington, D.C. for our field trip. We'll be leaving the church early on Saturday morning, returning sometime on Sunday afternoon. During our time in Washington, we'll have a guided tour of the National Cathedral. We'll actually worship at the cathedral on Sunday morning before we leave to return home. We'll be staying at the Church of the Epiphany Mission Center, which is just a couple blocks from the White House, and it's a wonderful place. I've taken groups there before. And so we'll spend the weekend seeing some of the sights of Washington, and especially introducing our young people to our wonderful National Cathedral. That's going to be the highlight of our trip. So while I'm away, Father Tin, who's been here before as a supply and has been very well received, will be preaching and presiding at all three of the services that weekend, on Saturday evening and the two services on Sunday. So we appreciate Father Tin and his ministry here in my absence. I want to mention also the fall mini stewardship campaign. You probably read about it in the last edition of the newsletter, but we are going to have a very brief, targeted, tightly focused stewardship campaign the weekend of the 12th and 13th of November. And this campaign will have two primary focuses. First, and most important, we're focusing on our faithful donors and givers who made a pledge of financial support to the church in 2016, but for whatever reason didn't participate in the spring Blessed to Give stewardship campaign. So we're going to be targeting those folks, and we're going to be inviting them to make a pledge of support, of financial support, for 2017. The second focus will be on electronic giving. I believe we have 6 or 7 families that are giving electronically through the Vanco Financial Services. It's a safe, convenient, and very helpful to the spiritual health of the parish to have more and more of our regular givers giving electronically. So we're going to be we've set a goal to double the number of e-givers through this fall mini stewardship campaign. So please, we ask that you prayerfully consider, if you're a regular giver, if you pledge and give on a regular basis, that you consider giving electronically. It's very, very easy to set up. We can give you all the information that you need. But the fall mini campaign will be held the weekend of November 12th and 13th. Our gospel reading for this coming Sunday is another one of Jesus' parables. It's located in the 18th chapter of the Gospel of Luke. And it begins with Jesus' encouragement to all of his disciples, including us down through the centuries, to pray and not to lose heart, to pray always and not to lose heart. And then he tells a story about an unjust judge and a persistent widow. Very interesting and I think very important parable, and we'll be exploring that together this coming weekend. So that's about all that I have for today. Wish you well, and I hope you enjoy this fall season, and we'll talk again next week. Thanks. Bye.